Good morning. Prosperity every day. October 6th. Breaking denial. Counting tells us where we are with our money. Many of us are vague about our spending. Setting it down in black and white gives us an accurate picture of our behaviors. We often spend more than we make and borrow ahead to cover shortfalls. Counting exposes such behaviors and breaks denial. Break yours today. I did my counting. I've got a very clear assessment of where I'm sitting financially, and it is freedom. Yeah, so more on that. You know, I just go down the list. I've got, my regular bank. I look at that. I get my savings and checking. And I know that that's not invested dollars. That's just dollars sitting there ready for me to utilize. I keep very little. The saving, it's like a hundy. And then the rest is just my paycheck after I've done my investing and tithing. And then I pay my bills. But I keep at the end of the almost every two to 3 weeks, it's almost down to a zero balance. Um, but I do have a CD through them, and but that matures in January, and I'll be switching that over to a high yield savings account that I've established. And so there's a little in the basically my right now my emergency fund is in that high yield account that's getting like five 5.11% on it, which blows out the credit union, which gives nothing. Anyways, um, and I'm just now turning 59 and a half, so I can make a couple of moves to totally improve my situation. Um, I'm in the process of moving my previous employer's 403B because it's from education and nonprofit, and I'm mushing it over to my 401k, where I am currently putting money into every week, every couple of weeks. But that'll put it all together, and I've made the adjustment in all my investments over to index funds. So they're the least expensive investment out there that charge the least amount to get into it and to manage. And they track the S&P, and nobody beats the S&P. It's just what everybody does. So I've finally learned that and have done it. So I'm done. And I don't pay attention to it. I don't care what the market's doing. My focus is at 10-year chunks, not 10 months, 10 weeks, 10 days. I don't give a shit. Even if it completely crashes out, I don't give a shit. I'm just staying in it and moving forward, and I'm thinking the next 10 years, 10 years, next 20 years. And that's it. And it looks bright. It looks really bright. Um, so, right now, I've nearly doubled my assets from 3 years ago. And it was simply buying this house. And that the equity that I have in the house over just the three to now going on almost 4 years now. Good God, is it that long? But that equity is offsetting um, my debt, and so really the amount that I have invested is very, very close to really where my net is right now. So that's awesome, and it's a very significant number for me in my brain. I just literally crunched all my numbers hard, and I'm so close to a very significant number that'll go poof. Okay, you are definitely over a hump, and now you're rocking into some momentum, financial growth momentum, and all the habits have changed. I'm not perfect. I still spend a little that's a tough word, frivol, frivolously. There we go. Frivolously. I'll have to work on that. Um, and I got a vacation coming up, so I'll probably splurge a little bit while I'm out there. I definitely want to be doing some home renovations, and I know that that's going to be expensive and blah blah blah. And so I'm just doing stuff. But the primary behavior that I have built over the last 6 to 7 years has been doing the everyday dollar budget, um, every dollar budget every day. And it's through Dave Ramsey. But again, any budgeting system, process, even if it's just you and a piece of paper, chucking down your bills, chucking down your credit cards, your car note, insurances, any of your expenses, just jot it down. Even getting a feel for it. It doesn't have to be 100% accurate. Even if it's 70% accurate, it's more than you did previously. And just getting it down on paper, just like today's message from Julia Cameron, just getting it in black and white eliminates and eradicates that ability to deny and to rationalize one more frivolous spending. Opening up another credit card. Oh my God. Going to college and racking up hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. Insanity. And I did it. I am not judging. I am speaking from experience, and that's one of the greatest joys that I'll be able to do in December and January is to stroke two checks and pay off that student loan to zero balance. I am no longer interested in paying interest. I'm no longer interested in putting anybody else's kids through college or setting up trust funds for their kids. I want to get vulgar here. I want to use profanity. Do you get where I'm at? But I take that frustration and now funnel it into forming positive, generating positive, wealth generating behaviors, budgeting, and not wildly overspending week by week by week, knowing where the money is coming from, knowing where the money is planned on going, and watching that process and tracking it all, tracking every purchase, plugging it into the budget, plug it into the budget. And I'm not 100% Dave Ramsey. I do use my credit card. I use my company credit card that I get, on every purchase, it's 1% back. On store purchases, it's 2% back. Plus, I get another 2% from my executive membership. That's a benefit. So really, any store purchase, I get 4% back. Two on the credit card side, two from the company. 3% back on any traveling, any hotels, rent-a-cars, restaurants, eating out, any of that stuff is 3% back, and then 4% with gas at the pump. And that's gas anywhere, as long as it's not a competitor. Um, so those benefits on that credit card, and I've got it set up onto my phone and connected to my bank. So every time I make purchases, I pay it off. So I behave as if that credit card is a debit card because I directly take money out of my bank account. So I add a step in there, and I'm getting benefits. I think I'm averaging almost. I think the last paycheck from my bank card was a little over $500, and I didn't allow a a payment cycle to run over, so I didn't pay a dollar in interest last year, the year before, the year before, or the year before. And it's discipline, but it's just a mindset. It's like I treat that thing like a debit card. It's that simple. It's a little bit of a mind game, but it's a good mind game. And I hear the message from Ramsey that I utilized some cash for a couple of purchases yesterday, And it is absolutely true. When you feel and see that cash coming out of your wallet and you hand it over to the cashier and they make change, we can make fun that the kids don't know how to make change anymore, but there's a physical sensation of that money going away. Whereas with the credit card, it takes away that tension. So we definitely are much more apt to spend loosely with that credit card, even though I treat it like a debit card. So I I offset that game, but whatever. And there are other benefits with it. I mean, if I do any major purchasing, it almost always doubles the warranties and whatever. There are benefits and travel and yada yada yada. But anyways, I'm not going to argue that stuff. I've not done Dave Ramsey perfectly. Um, technically I still have debt. I should be not investing a single dollar. I should be putting every dollar towards that debt. Um, but I monkeyed that around because it was a student loan and I thought I was going to be able to qualify for the forgiveness situation. I should have originally qualified for the forgiveness thing because I was working a nonprofit, but I messed that up. It's my responsibility. I messed that up. It's my responsibility. I messed that up. And for the longest time, I really carried a resentment because it got messed up. It got messed up. Rationalizing that it happened to me as opposed to taking responsibility and saying, oh, you were overwhelmed because you were doing too much, working too much, just being a madman at work, workaholic, trying to make something into something it could never have been. I tried to make a community college, nothing theater department into a conservatory. It was total insanity. We had there were, and I don't need to use that we word anymore because I am not a part of it. They have an amazing shell of a facility that could be utilized in magnificent ways, but it's never going to happen, and that's okay. So I have definitely let go of all that. But in the heat of it, I was pushing real hard up a mountain and, you know, had a 50-ton freaking boulder I was pushing up that mountain, and I made a little progress. But, oy, 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 in the end of the day, dude, it could have been done a lot differently. And part of me, I'm still grateful that I was a part of putting together some pretty amazing little pieces of art that are vanished and gone. I mean, that's in the end, it's like, wow, how much work do you do in theater to just have it disappear? I mean, it is the clearest manifestation of illusion. It doesn't matter how beautiful it is, how incredible the sets and the lights and the sounds and the acting and the verb, the words, poetry, all of those elements of an art form that is truly amazing, it just goes away. Closing night, poof, within 3 to 4 hours, every element of it is gone. It's amazing. Anyways, and for those who can make a living in it and have balance and have a life and have a family, more power to you. I couldn't get that figured out. I was not balanced enough to navigate that arena. You know, I function much better with a very clear, stratified, and structured company that specifies the workload and the work description and says, this is your job, go do your job, punch in, punch out, take a break, go home, go on vacation, and leave all the supervision and all the managing and all the creative work to other people. Just let me do my job, and I'm a happier man for it. Man, it's amazing. Anyways, a couple, 3 or 4 good tangents there. The idea of being 100% debt free, like right now, my Home Depot has a $410 on it. I can get that paid off. Um, this is October, so November. I'll definitely get that paid off before December. Um, and in December, I will cut a check for half of that student loan so that I'm taking some money out of the 401k, and that'll be a hit on my taxes, but that'll be, I'm taking half of that hit in the 2024, and then in January I'll do the other half, and so I'll take a little hit on my 2025 taxes and split that up basically. But I don't care. I just want it done and gone. And then the only debt burden I will have after January 2025 will be my home, which, right now I'm nearing 60% equity in this thing. So that mortgage, it was set up, and this was a Dave Ramsey mortgage. It was 15 years fixed, and I've been paying extra on it every month. And right now it's when that's my only debt, I'm gonna be able to hammer that out and knock that out definitely within 5 years, preferably 4. And then that leaves me, 5 working years with no debt. And then I get to experience what it's like chucking, you know, 40%, 30% of my income into investment. And, you know, the projection right now for where I will sit by the time I turn 69, 70 is awesome. I mean, right now I'm awesome. I mean, I look at all the, data. It's not data, it's freaking, internet feed stuff on retirement and stuff and wherever I'm sitting right smack dab in the middle of the average American at my age, earning the amount I earn and saving the amount I save. Um, living within my means. It's taken me so long to embrace that truth. It is a matter of truth. Live within your means, live within your means, live within your means. And the only way to know that is to budget it, to write it down, to look at it on a regular basis. And me, I look at it every day. So, um, I have chatted for the longest amount of time ever, and no one watches these things, which is fabulous. I love it. Anyways, I am responsible. I am capable. I'm aware. I am willing. I am masculine. I provide. I decide. And I protect. I am enough. This is my truth. My life is a treasure. I change my thinking today and thus create my holistic prosperity, health, wealth, and happiness plan. I demonstrate, manifest, and execute from this plan specifically today by number 1, tithing, number 2, prayer, meditation, reading and writing, 3, exercise and right eating, 4, budgeting and right spending and investing in my future's financial freedom, 5, boundaries and right relationships. There is one source, one intelligence that governs, guides, and guards, tells me what to do, when to do it, and how to act. I now act with perfect assurance. Every day I declare that there are no mistakes. None have been made, none are being made, and none can be made. I'm the spirit of joy within me. I radiate life. I am life. There is one life. That life is my life now. Let's save that one. I now claim my spiritual perfection and truth by partnering with my inner healing artist and abundance guide. We utilize the practical principles of the 12 steps, 12 traditions, and 12 powers. I expect and accept the healing. I expect and accept the happiness. I expect and accept the abundance. I expect and accept the responsibilities, and so live that they become a part of my experience now. I am responsible to harness my creativity by cultivating and manifesting positivity. This is what I want to do today. I have lingered into the afternoon. I got to work at 3 o'clock, so between here and there, I'm going to finish doing my due. I'm going to write. I haven't written for a couple of days, so I'm going to write. And I'm going to tackle my main kitchen island table. It's getting a little cluttery. I'm going to tackle that. Just got to do one thing for the house today. And I'm gonna ride the bike for 11 minutes and stretch and do one resistant exercise with some dumbbells. Just do one, bro. And then go tan and then give work an honest 8. Or no, honest 6. It's Sunday. This is what I'm going to do today. You will now step into my place and do it, bringing all your powers and intelligence to bear, and consider yourself to be none other than myself. And so it is. This or something better still. I think that's it. Man, you guys have a great day.